Hello. I thought I would explain the immersive learning experience in a little bit more detail in case you had any questions on it as you're working on it. For this project, as you know, you're going to take the role play situation that you worked on in groups with in class and that you presented to the class, except now you're going to take it individually. So I suggest that if you would like to make any revisions to the script, which you are very welcome to do, that you save it to your own either Word doc or Google Doc or something so that you're not modifying the script for the other people within your group. This is going to be aligned to investigating strategies for differentiation. You're going to be focusing on the student that you and your group worked on together. So just as you did with your group, you're going to provide the strengths and challenges for that student. You may want to flesh those out a little bit more, and you can certainly change them if you would like to do that as well. Those can be any format that you want. They can be bullet points or in a box or in an essay form, whatever works best for you. Then you're going to actually copy and paste the script with any of the revisions that you'd like. And be sure that there is a resolution in it and a plan for addressing the situation, which all of you had in your plans. Now consider the literature that you identified and exactly how you would use it. Provide some explanation for that, if that is specifically for the parent or for the student, something that you would teach to the class, whatever you believe would be the most effective way to use that. Or you could use it for all those areas, but explain that. And then you're going to think about how you're going to work with the student toward the resolution the day following the meeting. So now it's time to begin putting the plan in place. You're going to write a short script between you and the student, and you could include any others whom you'd like to be present, and that could include a teacher, a counselor. It could possibly include a principal or assistant principal, but probably not. Chances are it will be just between you and the student, but that's up to you. And now for the biggest part of this project is you're going to engage in a dialogue journal with your student. If you haven't done a dialogue journal before, I have some examples here that I have also provided with you on the portal under assignments. This is from a chapter of the textbook that's used currently in the language arts class, but it's a previous edition of the textbook, and why they left it out, I don't know, but I thought it was a very important part of the textbook. So this is a section over writing in journals, and it gives several examples of personal kinds of journals. Here are some types of journals, including a dialogue journal, and there are some examples here. So for example, here are 2 kindergarten journal entries. Here are some examples of back and forth with the student and teacher, although I would expect your replies to be a little, at least a few sentences long, a little longer than what you see here. There are reading logs as well, which is a little bit less relevant to what you're doing, but still great examples. Double entry journals can be used as dialogue journals, and different kinds of logs. So here's some entries from 7th grade reading logs, and you can see exactly what the students were working on. So you may want to keep this chapter just for your own benefit, but definitely see some examples in here. Simulated journal entries. Here's one over a math learning log. And then here we see these Dear Diary entries, which could be related. Anyway, those are some examples that you may want to look at, and consider that it may not only be written journals, particularly with younger kids. You might want to include drawings, stickers, stamps, anything like that, but you can certainly do that with middle and upper elementary grade students as well. So you're going to write 2 simulated journal entries from the student with responses from you. They should in some way relate to what the issue has been that the student's been experiencing. And you can either handwrite these or type them, but you do whatever works for you. Then you're going to give just a short description of a lesson or a mini lesson that you would teach in class that stems from the student journal entries. It might be a lesson over making friends. It might be a lesson over math anxiety. Whatever the issues are, you're going to teach just a short lesson over it. And you can write this out in just a descriptive paragraph, unless you'd like to go into more detail. That's up to you. And then finally, you're going to end with a description of a service project that would be appropriate for your class and the grade level and the community. So it may or may not relate directly to the student's issue, but consider that service projects can be beneficial for students as much as, or even more than, for the community that they're benefiting, regardless of grade or ages. So consider a kind of project that can really help build up this student's confidence and sense of identity. Here is the score sheet that will be used. And notice that at 20 points, the simulated journal entries and responses, this is the most heavily weighted part of it. Also notice that the student's strengths and challenges, this description is worth as much as the actual role play script. I hope you're able to really get into the issues that your student is having and helping that student follow up and become successful in your class.